The WAIC 2026 Expo took place in China. There, robots made coffee and pizza, did laundry, searched for medicine among thousands of packages, stepped onto real production lines, and proved that the sci-fi future where androids do all the work for us is almost here. This year, the World Artificial Intelligence Conference was dedicated to the hottest topic in tech, AI for humanoid robots, aimed at making machines truly useful. And the largest booth proving that point belonged to AGIBOT. In total, 60 robots were spread across the expo. They greeted guests, worked as tour guides, played table tennis, brewed coffee, and worked on an improvised factory line. What made it unique was that this wasn't just a demo of a robot worker. The company's androids have already endured a 6-day marathon on an actual tablet manufacturing line. For a human, that's just a regular work week. But for complex mechanics that usually need recalibration after a couple of hours of operation, it's a huge leap in reliability. Still, the company's main announcement at the expo wasn't the workhorse G2 models on a wheeled base, but the new full-sized Humanoid A3 Ultra. It made it into the top 10 main treasures of WAIC 2026, the expo's official award for the most groundbreaking technologies, becoming the only humanoid machine on the list. The title is well-deserved considering this android has a whopping 51 active degrees of freedom. For comparison, Boston Dynamics Atlas has 56 degrees of freedom, while Figure 03 has 44 movable joints. In practice, that means the robot's arms and legs are close to human flexibility. A 360-degree camera setup and LiDAR are responsible for the robot's vision. That setup, combined with AI powered by the NVIDIA Thor computing platform, allowed the android to play table tennis completely free of operator control. Now that's a real stress test. The machine saw the ball on its own, calculated its trajectory, chose its movement, and returned the shot, all in fractions of a second in a game against real people who could change the direction and speed of their serve at any moment. Also at the AGIBOT booth, the industrial heavy-duty Humanoid G2 Max was lifting dumbbells. It can regulate its grip force so it doesn't crush objects, and it can lift 40 pounds, 18 kilograms, with one arm. That's like casually carrying a full water cooler jug with your offhand. Its job is to move materials, load equipment, pack products, and work on existing production lines. This is also a new release, just like the next robot. The company aims to capture several markets at once, which is why at WAIC they also introduced an industrial manipulator and the new compact Humanoid X2 EDU for training and development. You can take it apart, swap sensors, connect new compute modules, attach different grippers, and use it like a building set for your own algorithms. Unlike AGIBOT with its wide range of models, PNDbotics threw all its weight behind a single platform, the Adam robot. With the dimensions of a regular human, standing 5 feet 6 inches, 167 centimeters tall and weighing 132 pounds, 60 kilograms, it's capable of carrying heavy loads and confidently climbing stairs in dynamic balance mode. That means constantly shifting its center of gravity on the move, just like a real person. The robot's power actuators allow it to overcome obstacles up to 3 feet 1 meter high, thanks to torque of up to 340 newton meters, about 251 pound-feet. To put that into perspective, that's the engine torque of a standard family car packed into a robot's leg. And the V-shaped hip design provides enough flexibility and mobility for complex terrain. For task-based handwork, there's a teleoperation system with minimal latency. And to allow the robot to work autonomously in the future, engineers are already developing AI for it. For now, the goal is to teach the machine to grip and sort items on its own. On top of that, PNDbotics is a full-cycle company, meaning that at every stage of development, from actuators to brains, it relies strictly on its own proprietary technology. At WAIC, Fourier Intelligence wasn't trying to impress people with strength or acrobatics. Instead, it showed how robots could actually fit into everyday life. The main demo was called Embodied Home. You didn't have to spell out every single step. You could just say, "I'm hungry," and the GR3 humanoid would understand the intent. Find something to eat, plan a route, and bring it over. At the same time, a screen showed the robot's entire decision-making process, how it read the environment, broke the task into smaller steps, and checked that each one was done. The system could also coordinate several robots at once. If two machines crossed paths, they would decide who had priority and move around each other, working like a small team of household assistants. But the real crowd favorites were the tabletop GR Nano robots, tiny, touch-sensitive emotional companions. These little guys follow you with their eyes, react when you touch them, and gradually develop a more personalized way of interacting with their owner. They were built to work too, but just in a very different way, by keeping lonely and elderly people company. Honestly, proving that your robot is fast, precise, and stable inside the tight space of an expo booth isn't easy, which is why companies choose either dancing or sports competitions. For instance, JAKA Robotics demonstrated not just the agility and fluid movement of their compact service androids, but also their multi-robot synchronization algorithms. The robots moved as one well-oiled machine, without the slightest delay. Meanwhile, the developers at Kinetix AI, much like AGIBot, took a shot at table tennis against human opponents. The robot robot pulled it off thanks to their proprietary smash system. It processed the ball's trajectory and spin at high speed, building a four-dimensional spatial memory of its surroundings. In other words, the robot didn't just see the incoming ball, it calculated exactly where it would be in the next fraction of a second so it could get the paddle in place in time. That allowed the android to calculate the strike angle and instantly position the paddle right where it needed to be. And finally, at WAIC 2026, Booster Robotics dedicated a huge portion of its booth to mini soccer. The main highlight was autonomy. The robots dribbled, passed, pulled off trick moves, scored goals on each other, and even tried to beat human players. For the company itself, this demo was about solidifying their success. Just a couple of weeks before the Expo, at the RoboCup 2026 Robot Soccer World Championship in South Korea, teams running on Booster Robotics hardware took home every single gold medal and trophy across all three divisions, from small-size to full-sized humanoids. But the real highlight of the booth was the new Booster T2 robot. It features actuators with a peak torque of 140 Newton meters, about 103 pound-feet. That exact power allows its joints to react instantly to hard knocks and maintain balance even during acrobatics. Response speed comes from a computing unit outputting over 2,000 teraflops, which, for comparison, is like combining a couple hundred modern gaming consoles. All of this together turns the robot into more than just an athlete. It makes it a machine capable of working in tough environments. So while sports robots might look like a gimmick, they're actually a great test for vision, balance, decision-making, coordination, and the ability to operate safely right next to humans. For actual work, though, those flashy skills aren't always necessary. For example, startup Noematrix put on a demo with zero showmanship, just boring pharmacy work. Interestingly, the booth replicated a typical Chinese pharmacy layout. That way, the engineers wanted to show that you don't need to rebuild the environment for the robot. It can fit right into the existing setup. The machine took orders on its own, located the right medicine, and handed it to the customer. In the second zone, Noematrix automated a hotel laundry room. The robot gathered linens, loaded the washing machine and dryer, unloaded the clothes, and folded the textiles. In other words, it wasn't just performing one flashy trick, but executing a long sequence of operations with soft, constantly shape-shifting objects. So how did they get the robot to handle soft bedsheets? As it turns out, the company's killer feature isn't the robots themselves, but their training system. RoboPocket consists of a device resembling a manipulator, a smartphone, and the Noematrix app. The company hired everyday people who use the system to gather over 100,000 hours of data recordings for the robots. That's over 11 years of continuous first-person video collected across 47 cities in China. This approach doesn't require the robot itself, unlike training through teleoperation, and provides much more information than regular video. The system records depth, hand trajectory, gripper position, and interaction with the object. The goal is to teach the robot to understand the physics of what's happening, rather than just memorizing preset movements, where the object is, how it might deform, and what action will lead to the desired result. That way, you won't have to record a separate, perfect trajectory for every new package, door, or bedsheet. KEENON Robotics stood out from many companies at WAIC because it has already deployed over 100,000 commercial service robots. Now the company is integrating new dual-arm humanoids into that existing ecosystem. In the coffee shop zone, the android took orders, located cups, selected programs, and pressed buttons on a standard coffee machine. Unlike AGIBot, the company is already actively testing this system in the real world alongside the Nowa coffee chain. In the second zone, KEENON demonstrated hotel laundry automation. The wheeled T9 robot brought in dirty linens, the humanoid loaded them into the washing machine, unloaded them after the cycle, and handed them off to a second robot for folding. The entire 5 to 6 step sequence took about 4 minutes. The main idea isn't to force one humanoid to do everything, but to connect different machines into one unified system. Wheeled robots handle delivery while androids handle the handwork. This approach is already being tested in Shanghai hotels, and KEENON's traditional service robots are operating in over 5,000 hotels around the world. Interestingly, a real race is unfolding in the Chinese humanoid service market. UniX AI also turned its booth into a full-fledged demo zone for domestic and commercial services. What's more, the engineers focused heavily on long, autonomous cycles. In the interactive pizzeria zone, a humanoid machine made pizza completely from scratch based on the guests' choices. Once the pizza was ready, the robot sliced it up and invited customers to complete their order with drinks. In the adjacent zone, butler robots chopped fresh salads for breakfast, made beds, did cleaning, and loaded laundry into the washing machine. According to the developers, current technology is already capable of taking over up to 2/3 of household and hotel chores. So we're looking forward to the already announced robot hotel in China. It'll be interesting to see which robots end up working there without any operator supervision, because Chinese developers are dead set on mastering the most complex tasks for robots, those involving soft and flexible materials, and the competition here is practically breathing down each other's necks. Case in point, the X-era AI robot worked autonomously with fabrics, neatly smoothing out and folding clothes, picking up items from the basket and loading them into the washing machine. Engineers assure that thanks to sensitive grippers and adaptive textile recognition algorithms, the robot easily handles crumpling objects without the risk of bunching up the fabric. Robots aren't just being trusted trusted with objects, though. They're being trusted with humans, too. Tencent's machine, designed for elder care, is currently learning the ropes as a massage therapist. The dual-arm Xiaolu senses body resistance and adjusts its pressure in real time. To teach it proper technique, Tencent recorded the movements, tactile sensations, and force applied by professional masseurs, and then trained the robot to accurately replicate both hand trajectories and pressure levels. However, Xiaolu itself is more of a capability demo. Tencent's main bet is the high embodied model family, which is built to serve as a universal brain for any robot. It will teach the machine to perceive space, understand tasks, predict outcomes, and translate commands into smooth physical actions. And massage therapy is a very convincing test here. After all, if you can trust a machine with the human body, it means it has learned not only how to move precisely, but also how to feel the fine line between helpful pressure and pain. At its core, though, WAIC was an artificial intelligence expo, and while some companies were showing off new bodies for robots, others were building the brains and computing infrastructure designed to power all these machines. Huawei introduced the Atlas 950 SuperPod, essentially a massive data center that operates as a single computer. In its maxed-out configuration, the system pumps out up to 8 exaflops of computing power. To put that scale into perspective, this infrastructure is powerful enough to simultaneously train and manage entire fleets of machines across the country in the future. Instead of trying to win the race with a single superchip, Huawei links thousands of its own accelerators together through the Unified Bus Protocol, scaling them into a single computing fabric. A system like this is necessary for training models with trillions of parameters and running AI agents with massive context windows. In other words, Huawei didn't just show the intelligence of one specific robot, but the infrastructure on which entire fleets of machines will be able to learn and operate simultaneously down the road. Meanwhile, MiniMax presented the actual brain itself, the open-source multimodal M3 model, packed with 427 billion parameters. From the ground up, it was trained to process text, images, video, and code, holding a context window of up to 1 million tokens in its working memory, meaning it doesn't forget massive amounts of data along the way, and it can autonomously break down a complex task into steps over the course of hours. The M3 model is fully open source. Any developer can download its raw files, the so-called WAICs, and run this brain on their own server. So behind every robot playing table tennis, making coffee, or folding laundry lies a second, less flashy layer of the revolution. Giant computing factories and models capable of seeing, planning, and acting. In the end, they're the ones that will determine whether humanoids remain flashy Expo showpieces or actually start working alongside us. The first part of the Expo proved the main point. The era of booth toys is over. Humanoids are ready to step out into real work. But robotics isn't limited to worker robots. For a roundup of the weirdest and most unusual robots, check out our next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.